For my project, I read books that revealed truths and how people pick their partners for love or for social status. I questioned the connection between love and wealth because it affects everyone. We like to base our success and happiness on whether we find love and wealth, but in the end, those things are often at odds. This leads to unhappiness in our lives, and in the case of fictional literature, death. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald and Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte are books that both give insight into how people make relationships. Gatsby becomes incredibly rich in order to win the love of his life over, and Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights does the same. Fitzgerald uses characters like Tom's wife Daisy and his mistress to show how desperate people are to have luxurious lives. Even though it's riddled with abuse, these two women would literally rather take beatings than be with someone they love, just so they can have a rich, easy life. In Wuthering Heights, Bronte shows how societal standards affected Katherine Earnshaw so much that she betrays her own heart and marries her neighbor for wealth instead of Heathcliff, who she loved. The movie La La Land offers a similar ending to these novels. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling's characters fall in love, but they're not doing well for themselves in the acting and music industry. In the end, Emma and Ryan break up because Emma chooses fame and money over love. In Jan Del Lago's TED Talk, he expresses how we need to lower our expectations when it comes to love. When you stop looking for love to boost your ego, you can start to find a relationship which is tender with love. Nowadays, most relationships are based on status because we underestimate the value of tender love and care. A similar theme is saw in Pride and Prejudice, when Darcy writes off Elizabeth as a wife because of her inferior social status. However, Jane Austen reveals that love is more important than money when Darcy decides to marry Elizabeth in the end. In The Great Gatsby, Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, and La La Land, money and social class intrude on love. Social class is heavily weighed in on the decisions each character makes. In the case of Gatsby and Heathcliff, they even go as far as changing their social class to get love. However, Dan Alago brings up the idea of lowering expectations and looking for tender love instead of wanting it for selfish reasons. I believe in the message that the writers are trying to get across. I believe that love should be a selfless thing, and that by having these characters die or not end up with love is the writer's way of saying that love is more important than money too. From reading these books and looking at other sources, I can see that money does influence relationships a lot, and probably more than we are willing to admit. We aren't living in the world of literary fiction, so our choice to choose wealth over love won't lead to our death. However, I would not choose a life without love. Thank you.